So all it was, Raymond, it was an amendment just to make sure that we're within financial limits?
Yes.
On that end, Raymond, I know I spoke to Charlie. I think they're going to request for another week extension for the library because apparently it's going out for bids on the 12th, but the GCs are having some trouble. It's going to be delayed about a week, just to let everyone know. And
He called. We talked to him this morning, and he said that for some of the general contractors were asking for an extended period of time due to the and some of the jobs got backed up that they were currently working. So they asked for a week, and he was going to talk to Lupita to see that week from Lupita from Urban County to make sure that week was okay.
okay.
All right. So basically, item 5A, I make a motion on approval of amendment to the 2021-2023 corporate agreement with the Elijah County Urban County Program.
I second the motion.
Yes, there was a motion by Commissioner Castillo, a second by Commissioner Peña. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, now moving on to item 5A. Approve resolution 2020-11, a resolution for the Operation Stone Garden fiscal year 2019 grant.
Mayor, Commissioners, ask that you all accept the approval of the resolution for Operation Stone Garden. We were granted 90,000 this year, which was the same as last year. 41,000 of that is going to overtime for the officers. That's including fringe benefits. The rest is in equipment. And we had looked into some binoculars with night vision. We're looking at 2 of those along with some extra portable radios. That was 5 additional portable radios. And the remainder of that, we were looking into also purchasing a new Polaris Ranger UTV for to assist with the Operation Stone Garden. So asking so we need the resolution to finalize the application as well as to accept the funds of that.
Make motion on 5B, approval of resolution 2020/11A, resolution for the Operation Stone Garden FY 2019.
I second the motion.
There was a motion by Commissioner Peña, second by Commissioner Castillo. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Leon, are you still on, Leon? Yes. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Moving on to item 5C, approval and acceptance of TOPS grant.
Mayor, Commissioners, we had our grant writer, Mr. Trevino, apply for a grant for us for the COPS grant, and we were awarded the grant. Mr. Trevino, you want to add the details of it?
Yes, Mayor, congratulations for you and the city commissioners and staff. We applied for $214,398, which is 2 officers for 3 years. Amendment of the grant, the federal share was $160,798. The city share was supposed to be $53,600. We go to $214,398. We were blessed to get the hardship waiver, so the city will have to pay consent. So he's going to be paid for free for 3 years. So congratulations on the grant.
Mr. Trevino, I'm sorry, you were very muffled. Can you, I didn't quite hear that real quick.
The grant total that was approved for the city of Sullivan City for COP was $214,398. The federal share grant is $160,798. Is $60,000. We submitted a hardship waiver, so the feds would subsidize that cost. We're giving the hardship waiver, so the city's allotment is not $52,000, it's zero. We have 100% grant for the COP center for 3 years.
So it's at zero match?
Zero match. We got the hardship waiver.
Awesome.
So the next thing here is those two new officers, they have two new officers for the city. So
That's good news.
we just need to approve to accept the award letter and move forward with the hiring of two new officers.
Yes, sir. Item 5C, I make a motion to approve the acceptance of the COPS grant.
I second the
There was a motion by Commissioner Castillo, a second by Commissioner Peña. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Moving on to item 5D. Approval and acceptance of coronavirus emergency supplement funding CESF grant.
Yes, Mayor Commissioners, again, Mr. Trevino was able to apply for this grant. It would be to benefit the fire department, and we were approved the grant. Mr. Trevino, guide us into the details, please.
Yes, Mayor, on this grant, at the last meeting where we appointed police chief, Chief Cordova, I had made a presentation that we're going to apply for this grant. We were applying for police overtime and fire department stipends for hospitals. As you know, we're one of the three departments that still volunteer and they don't get anything. Unfortunately, we were not able to get the entire grant because they maxed out everybody population. So our grant was 22,252 for the fire department stipend. Now, in every fire, every volunteer will get $25 a call. So the 22,252 equals to 890 stipends. So that's a big plus for our fire department. Once we get this approved, we'll send information to the office of the governor so we can get this funds allocated for the fire department. And on this grant, there's no match. So therefore, I'm requesting approval of item 5B and the acceptance of the coronavirus emergency supplemental funding grant.
Sylvia, are you there?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you. Item 5D, make a motion in approving an acceptance of coronavirus emergency supplemental funding CESF grant.
I second the motion.
There was a motion by Commissioner Castillo, a second by Commissioner Peña. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, now moving to item 5D, discussion and possible action on allowing Dignity to set up a site for COVID-19 testing.
Mayor and Council, about a week and a half ago, I was approached by an organization named Dignity that was looking for different areas to set up testing sites. I believe that they've partnered with the city of Benitez, the city of Palmview. I'm not sure about La Jolla, but I know that they were looking into the western part of the county. I believe from Dignity is on the meeting. He can explain a little bit more about the services they offer and pricing and such.
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for the invitation to be here. Myself and Mr. Donald Watkins from Dignity is also on the meeting, so Don, feel free to fill in whenever I may be off on something. But Dignity right now has partnered with the city of Peñitas and Palmview. We're right now located in Palmview. We've been doing extremely well. We've been there since a little bit, I want to say about the day before Hurricane Hannah. And despite of the impact that I know the Western Valley has had weather-wise, we've had a great turnout. This past weekend, we actually moved locations closer to the expressway, and we actually had a partnership going on with the Salvation Army, and that went very well. Right now, we are offering the COVID testing. We're offering both the rapid blood test and the nasal swab test, the PCR. And we are also offering telehealth medicine services. We are partnered with Dr. Ragutu out of Brownsville. So she and her physician assistant, Mr. Philip Taylor, is spearheading the medical aspect of it. So it's not just us offering a test site. We actually offer the follow-up attention that the customer may require also. So like I said, we are willing to go also and share our services and be a blessing to Sullivan City. We do have resources available to deploy. We have our own tents, our own buses, we have our own vehicles. But anything that maybe a city can offer, say like a standalone structure, fire department area, whatever y'all recommend, we can utilize that to free up our resources to help out other cities that may need help also with COVID. So it's just pretty much whatever y'all want to work with, we can help you guys out. We're able to start as soon as you guys are ready to move on it, and we're here to help. Our fees right now, we're working a lot with the city's voucher system. So right now, what we're doing, we're also focusing on city employees, our first responders. We did offer a price to Peñitas and Palmview that we're going to do the same thing with y'all. We're offering 140 for the PCR test for employees and 50 for the rapid test. And we can go to your location. You don't got to send anybody over to any of the test sites. We'll send somebody over to a designated area that y'all would prefer to make sure responders are taken care of. And we do have everything pretty much set up at your disposal, whatever you guys would like. We are taking insurances. We are taking cash, credit card. We're also right now on the verge of finalizing by this Friday, if I'm not mistaken, the ability to service also uninsured individuals and be able to get them the testing for free as well. So we're moving to try to make the most impact we can. Of course, whatever savings the company gets, we'll pass it on to y'all and to the customers as well.
So one of the things that we had talked about, we had met, is I believe some gentlemen, Dignity, some representatives from Dignity were able to go over to Sullivan, and they identified the back end of the fire department as an ideal location if the mayor council so agreed. We basically set up a drive-through testing site where they would stop, they could go park. I think it's a 15-minute process, correct, Mr. Elias?
Yes, that's correct.
They number the car, they wait 15 minutes, they get the results, and then they're free to leave. I mean, I know that the numbers keep on going up. I was actually looking at it right now. So, I mean, I do understand that there is a fee. The county judge's office, we could amend our CARES Act funding for something like this if we so choose. There's a couple of issues there that we need to get it approved and everything, but we can amend the funding. So if you guys say, you know what, we allocate $1,000 towards it, then we can do that. I am a little bit more curious, Mr. Diaz. Maybe you can explain to the mayor and council. You guys find out if non-insured get to get free test?
You're kind of breaking up. Can you ask for the question one more time?
That you said on Friday you'll find out that if somebody that's uninsured is eligible for testing.
We'll know hopefully by Friday. We were hoping to know by today, but I know the process that takes about 5 days to finalize. We should know by Friday, Lord willing. And if that's the case, we'll let you know directly when we're able to take the free insurance, or the individuals that don't have any insurance to be able to give them the free testing.
How about people that do have insurance? What's the pricing on that for? Is it just their copay or?
No, as a matter of fact, there is no copay. The insurance pretty much pays the entire cost of both tests. Dr. Ragutu is recommending to do both tests. And if you have insurance, it's basically free. There's no out-of-pocket cost. Of course, the alternative is if you don't have insurance right now, but you have cash, you would pay your cash price. But we're trying to see that we can go ahead and get that approval for Friday. Make sure we can take care of everybody that may not be insured.
Also, you all, on the meeting when I met with you, you guys do provide your own liability insurance, right? Something were to happen, you guys are insured. There's no fault falls back onto the city.
Yes.
How about traffic control, Mr. Elias? You guys start getting a line. You guys have personnel to help alleviate with traffic. I mean, because right now, I'm not able to, from what I can, from my knowledge, we wouldn't be able to help you as far as a PD unit, even a fire department at this time with everything that's gone on over the last couple of weeks. You guys maintain that and handle that on your own?
Yeah, we should be able to have personnel, but any help that you can spare would be appreciated.
My only question, Mr. Elias, would be, what if you have Medicaid clients? Are you all taking that insurance? Or, okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we are.
Okay.
Awesome. We're here to help out, so we're giving everybody all the options in the world And once we get that approval by Friday for the free testing, we'll open up the floodgates for everybody also. So we'll do the best that we can.
Commissioner Peña, do you have any questions? Well, I feel that, Mayor, I feel that we've covered the liability part, which is very important to us.
Yes.
You know, and I feel that it would be an important step to take for the city, you know, to go ahead and have a station to have people check themselves for COVID.
I totally agree with you, Sylvia. My next question goes to Elias. Elias, how soon or how fast, if approved, could you start the process to start being at the fire department and start doing those testing?
I have to counsel with the rest of the crew, but the way things are panning out right now, I believe we should be able to start something by next week, the very latest, on Monday.
Okay.
And then by then, if they can do the free testing, right? You said, Mr. Elias,
That's what we're pushing for. Yes, that's correct.
That we will find out that Friday if we're going to be able to qualify for the right?
Yes, Lord willing. And despite if we don't know by Friday yet, we can still start testing. It's just as soon as we get the approval, we'll let the public know and we'll let y'all know to get that going as well. So if y'all can help us and promote it through your Facebook posting, websites, whatever you guys have, that would also help out a lot.
Yes, and if the council does move to approve this, how long are you guys stationed with us? I mean, what's the normal term that you all have agreed to with other municipalities?
What we're doing is we're doing a 30-day period. We're there for 30 days. We're working right now Monday through Friday, 7 to 7. There are some instances where, for example, last weekend, because of the whole hurricane situation that happened, we worked this past Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to help as many people as possible. So we're willing to work out with whatever you guys are willing to do. Well, we can offer the same time frame as we are with Palmview, but we do it just as the need arises. So y'all let us know when y'all like to have the windows opportunity open. We can work something out. But we will work any day of the week that we need to.
After the 30-month period is done, Mr. Elias, I know I'm trying to take care of my fire department. Let's say the station there. Is there going to be a cleanup crew disinfecting and everything as you guys leave, or every night before you leave, or how's it going to happen?
Yes, our procedure is that we clean up the site every single night before we leave, inside, outside. Make sure that it is spick and span clean. We don't leave any trash whatsoever. We disinfect every single night. After the 30 days is over, if y'all still want to continue, that's not a problem. It'll automatically roll in. We just need to come to an agreement, like an email that says we wish to continue for 30 more days, and then we can get that in the amendment, and we'll just keep going for y'all. Our main goal is to help out as much as possible to the smaller cities and to keep your first responders out there when it matters. So even if, for example, it may not go for the next 30 days, if y'all still want us to focus on your first responders, we can tailor that as well. It's just a matter of coming to an agreement.
Okay.
Marion, all testing's done in the people's vehicles. There's no access inside the fire department whatsoever.
Correct.
Yeah, of course.
And just one other question, Mr. Elias, the PCR would be nasal swab and the rapid test would be blood.
Yes,
Antibodies?
that is correct. Yes,
Okay,
that is correct.
make sure. Okay.
Yeah, the blood test takes about 15 minutes to get a result. The PCR, we did partner with a lab out of South Carolina that gets the results a lot faster than locally. So we'll get our results in about no more than 2-3 days tops.
Okay, 2 to 3 days.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Commissioner Peña, do you have any questions?
I'm sorry, I have one. Also, Elias, if you don't find out on Friday, let's say the answer is no, is there anything you guys would be able to help out with? I mean, I know we have that ability through the CARES Act, but for a city like Sullivan, any little bit helps, right? So if we don't get, we can't allocate enough through the CARES Act, is there anything that Dignity would be able to do to assist some of these lower income people and they want to get tested? Is there anything that you guys would be able to say, you know what, instead of 120, we can do it 50, or is there anything that we can do at that point? Or we're made aware of a family that is in need of testing, but they can't afford it. Is there something we can do at that point?
Absolutely. Mr. Miguel Gomez, the CEO of the company, believes the fact that if you're already there, you need to be tested. There's no sense sending people back home because they don't have the money or things of that nature. We work with everybody on a case by case basis. We do feel confident, though, that we should know an answer by Friday at the very latest, if not sometime early next week, to make sure we do get those free testing done or the ability to do the free testing. But even if that takes a little bit more time, we will take it on a case by case basis. I think what's more important is to establish presence. That way people know that we're there. And once everything falls into place for that free testing, it'll just be a lot easier for them to know where to go and be there more accessible for them.
Any other questions from Mr. Peña and Castillo?
But Mr. Diaz, but if not, if they don't get it, you all are. I mean, so if somebody goes and they don't have insurance and they can't afford to pay, you guys would still test them. Then, in other words, that's what you're saying, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, even if that thing doesn't come through on Friday.
Yes, what we'll do is we have what's called for our company a humanitarian list where we go on a case by case basis and be able to adjust as we see fit based on the situation of the person's need. Again, we believe that it's the point that everybody should be tested just to make sure that we can control this pandemic as best as possible.
Yes, sir.
Now, if we do get the CARES Act funding, who's going to be responsible for the verifying that they're Sullivan City residents? If the mayor and the council decide to move in the direction of we're going to try to allocate some CARES Act funding, you guys would verify addressing? Are we going to be responsible for that? How would that work in the event that we do allocate some monies towards the testing? How are you doing it in other cities like in Palmview, Penitas, to know that you're going to give me a voucher that I'm actually a resident of the said city, right? Because we're so close to Starr County, we may get some people coming in from another county. How are we going to verify that they're citizens?
If I may answer that, what Palmview is doing, they're actually tailor fitting their vouchers, and and from what I've understood, they're targeting their individuals that they know for sure do not have insurance, and they're actually doing some sort of number system, and they're allowing those residents to go to City Hall, pick up those vouchers, and they are somehow, I guess, time limited within a 3-day window. So that way they know that they need to physically go pick up those vouchers to confirm that they are new residents. And then they bring that voucher over to us. And once we get that voucher, it's no longer usable because we hold on to it. We archive some sort of number system that maybe y'all can use in the same format to make sure that it is only Sullivan City people. It's a little bit more work up front, but you get to be able to ensure that your money is going to the people of Sullivan City.
Any other questions from Commissioner? Do we have Mr. Peña and Sylvia there?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you have any questions?
Any questions, Commissioner Peña?
Oh, Commissioner.
Do I need a motion?
I make a motion in approving on allowing Dignity, which is item 5E, to set up site for COVID-19 testing.
Second.
There was a motion by Commissioner Castillo, second by Commissioner Peña. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you,
Mr. Diaz. Thank you so much for everything you guys are doing.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
thank you for the time. Thank you.
Thank
you so
you.
much for your time and being out here with us. Now moving on to item 5F, approval of business permits. We got F1. You want to do them all at the same time or individual, Marco? Or is that all? It's only the business permit.
Mayor, all of the permits are in compliance. They have all gone through the process. This is formally waiting for a formal business permit from us. Sister's Thrift Store is located next to Trevino's Bakery on 83 next to Family Dollar. They're going to be selling thrift stores, setting up a thrift shop. Sullivan ABC's Academy is going to be located in Treasure Plaza, right next to El Tunel on Butler Street. It's like a Head Start daycare. Jules Dance Company, this one's going to be located next to the Zumba Queen on 83 towards Trigo Loop. That's a dance company. Nicole's Variety Store, that one is located in El Tunel on the front office. On Valle, Ranchito Market. This one is the one where I wanted you guys to give me some input. Basically, this lady is the owner of property of FM 886 in Anacuita. So it's off of FM 886. It's a big land, but she wants to do like a flea market sort of thing. She has 5 spaces for vendors to sell and may include food, massage, etc. So basically, she's going to set up like a little shop, a puntita type of thing. And that one I wasn't so sure.
Is that residential or is it commercial?
FM 886,
Yes,
it's
where she's located.
commercial. It's right on FM 886 in Anacuita.
That's residential, no?
It'd be considered residential towards the inside of Anacuita, but since it's exactly in FM 886, it's designated because it's on FM 886. I would have to see the zoning.
Okay, can we double check? I would still recommend you give approval, but depending on that, make sure we don't have any problems with the neighbors or anything. Give her about 2 or 3 months from there. Take it as far as giving it to her. Have any problems with neighbors?
So we can do like a special use.
Yes.
A special condition.
Now, that's my recommendation. I don't know about the commission, but I don't want any trouble with neighbors because it's a residential property. I know we approved the business back in the day. It's an income tax place. It was a residential. The neighbors had no problem, so we made it permanent already, where she could.
Mayor, may I interrupt? That one is considered commercial. That property on income tax was considered commercial.
Okay.
So I would have to double check the zoning on this property to make sure it's considered commercial.
Double check, make sure we're commercial and we'll do it temporary for now, just so you figure it out.
Okay, and the last permit is called Taqueria La Vaca. It's located right next to El Tunel. It's a yellow trailer. There used to be a taco stand there, so now the owner switched to another taqueria. All of them are in compliance. Like I say, all of them have the required documentation needed. They're just needing formal approval from the commission.
Okay, so my question is, everybody is in compliance?
That's correct.
Okay, so I'm gonna make an approval of business permit F1, F2, F1 Sisters Thrift Store, F2 Sullivan City ABC Academy, F3 Jules Dance Academy, F4 Nicole Variety Store, and F6 Taqueria La Vaca. On F5, I'm gonna request a special, maybe a time frame, Ms. Vero, on pending clarification on the zoning. I need for you to make sure that we are within
Parameters.
the correct zoning, okay?
I think if we don't feel comfortable, we can bring it back to the next meeting. That way I can clarify and make sure we're in compliance ourselves.
Rather, if it's okay with you, Commission, just give them the opportunity. A lot of people are hurting because of this COVID, what's going on. And they've been asking for this permits for a while already, and I think we need to give them a chance. So we'll just give them a temporary permit if it's okay with you guys, and for now, and see what happens after we get more information.
A special use permit.
Marco, yeah.
Just to clarify, Mayor, so you're going along with the motion that was done by Commissioner Castillo, which is just for the temporary use permit until we can get the. Okay, that's what's on the floor right now.
Is that okay? That's just for clarification. Is that okay?
Yes.
I'm trying to clarify that's what you guys are on the same position when it comes to Commissioner Castillo and Mayor.
Commissioner Peña, do you have any questions?
No, Commissioner, I second the motion.
Okay, there was a motion by Commissioner Castillo, a second by Commissioner Peña. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Now moving on to item 5G, approval of minutes of meeting held in May and June 2020.
Yes, Mayor Commissioners, we did have a meeting in May 28th. We did have a quorum for that meeting, and on June the 30th, June 18th, we had a meeting. This is where we discussed the CARES Act interlocal. Minutes are available for review. If you have any edits or recommendations, now is the time. If not, I ask you please approve minutes.
Do we need a motion on 5G?
We're lacking a motion. We don't have a motion that nobody's given a motion on that on 5G. That's
I make motion on 5G, approval of minutes for meetings held in May and June 2020.
Second the motion.
There was a motion by Commissioner Peña, second by Commissioner Castillo. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Now moving on to item 5H, discussion on Hurricane Hannah.
Mayor Commissioners, as we know, we did get hit by our Hurricane Hannah this past Saturday. We did have a couple of structures here in our building. Unfortunately, it's not operable due to the Hurricane Hannah, as well as other sectors of the city who were damaged. Right now, we do have an online survey going on, circulating on Facebook. We need to meet a certain number of property damage in order for FEMA to come in and jump in and auxiliate and help us. I know we wanted to put this in the agenda so we can reach out to the public, let them know that we're trying to find resources for able to, help the property damage. Raymond, do you want to help me out on this?
Yes, Mayor and Council, we've been working since the hurricane hit with, of course, our own city crews, and then Precinct 3 was able to assist as well. From our side, the brunt of the damage came inside City Hall. We lost our roof, leading to damage, almost 100% damage of City Hall. I know Mayor and people with the adjuster, and what they're saying, it's going to be a total gut out of the only thing that will stay intact right now is the shell. Immediate area there. For residents, there wasn't any major flooding with the exception of Flower Road. The precinct came in, they brought in pump truck and water pumps to assist that. I know they were there for about 3 days and there was still quite a bit of water. The amount of rain, over 17 inches of rain was a large amount that we weren't able to, that area wasn't able to sustain that much. But Chief, I guess Chief can fill in right there. The Texas Department of Emergency Management has a representative in the area. They're going to be coming by and making sure that everything that we're doing being documented. They're going to give us pointers on how to request additional federal funding, and they'll assist us in the application process, documenting everything. The county is the one that sent them over, so everybody from the county knows. We did get by Sheriff and Judge Cortez also. They came in to view our damage in the area. So they're well aware of everything that's going on in Sullivan. Now it's going to be for us to be able to record and document properly so we can request funding. Chief, I don't know, were you able to meet with that gentleman today?
No, that'll be tomorrow morning. We'll have a team coming out that's helping with the state as well as the military. We're going to be doing a damage assessments to all the major areas that we know that flooded the most, that received the most damages. That way we can start compiling a list of residents and homes and start reporting damages amount so we can meet that threshold that we need to meet as a county to start receiving resources and that help.
So
Raymond,
they'll be.
okay, I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Go
Sorry.
ahead, Sylvia. Go ahead, Sylvia.
Chief, they'll be assessing residents that were affected by the flood, home damages, everything that they lost. Correct?
That's correct. They have a system of criteria that each home has to meet in order for it to be whether it is completely lost or minor damage or major damage. So
Okay.
it's 6 guys along with myself that will be doing those assessments tomorrow, first thing tomorrow morning.
Okay, and how are we notifying our residents? Are they to call the city to say, hey, I gotta have damages, or they're gonna go subdivision by subdivision and kind of assess the damages?
We'll be going through subdivisions.
Okay.
As well, the guys at the patrol picked up several reports, so I have a general idea of where to start and where to hit places that were impacted.
Okay. Great.
So what I'm telling the residents that she was going to go and take all the pictures that they can for you guys. So I don't know if I'm doing the correct thing or not, but as far as all that, that's what I'm letting the people know. You know what to do? Is that
Mayor,
something to keep on doing, or?
Mayor, on this note, we did get a couple of persons that sent their pictures, videos to us via messenger to our Facebook. So we've already identified a couple of areas as well, and these people added their addresses, pictures, names, so we know who to contact as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
That they're going to be doing also is they're going to make a QR code, the barcodes that's going to be made accessible on Facebook and any other media that we can get out there. So all residents are going to have to do is they scan the QR code. It'll automatically take them to a page where they're able to upload their pictures, and it automatically is going to categorize it in a certain fashion that's going to make it so much easier for us. I sent that QR code, I think Saturday, but I think, did he mention that to you, Chief, that there's about that QR code that's going to be coming? Yeah, so that's basically you scan it with your phone, you do it, it'll automatically pull it up, you upload the pictures, you put your information, and the state automatically already has it. So it'll be an easy process. It might take some explaining, but once they get it down, it'll be pretty easy to keep the records.
And the
Okay,
QR
now
code.
we're going to be addressing our constituents. What is it that for now, how are we going to be addressing our constituents?
As far as what, Mayor?
As far as this, because some of them are approaching me and letting me know what's the next step for them to do. So what is it that I'm going to let them know?
If they can document with the pictures and all we'll open up on Facebook once we meet with him tomorrow, how we're going to start accepting all that information.
Okay.
We'll put it on Facebook.
So the QR code is to basically identify us as a city.
Yeah, so the QR code will come out. The residents will be able to scan it. It'll automatically have it for Sullivan, and then it'll upload into and actually, I don't know if it'll be even Sullivan or the county itself, but the QR code is going to be for our area, and we would upload those pictures. They put
Very impressed how it works. City's doing real good. Is there anyone for Hannah for drainage, for road improvements, for road fixtures? I mean, I know there was a lot of damages on our roads, water. There was a lot of damages caused in our drainage system because of the water, because of the current was too strong. How are we gonna solve that problem?
Isaro and I have been working on something. I'll let Isaro talk about that. But also, I know in the past, when it's happened before, FEMA will come in and try to identify, or either FEMA or the state will tell you, you know what, you have problem areas, let's identify them. And there may be some grant funding to be able to do that. But in the process, Isaro has an idea of how we can identify some of those areas. So I'll turn it over to Isaro.
Yes, Mayor, there's a $40,000 grant in USDA. Can everybody hear? Can everybody hear? There's a $40,000 grant with USDA that I've done to other communities in the past. It's called a PPG, Pre-Planning Grant. What that grant does is 30/10, 30,000 USDA grant, $10,000 only, but it's a lot of cities, smaller cities like that, use their engineers if they have them and retain it for those $10,000 for a couple of months. That the main purpose of that grant is to identify your problem areas. Once I have that actual assessment, I can use that proof for grant. It's very hard to ask for grant. So I think that would be a first. I can get that grant ready for the next week. In a couple of months, we can get that goes by a month. It's not once a year.
Okay.
So once we identify the problem areas,
the last like 20 seconds got cut off.
We have to go from 12 inch to 36, whatever. Once we have a plan, it's easier to apply for federal, state, or regional grants. Without a plan, we can apply, but it's very hard because we don't have a plan to back it up. That's just my experience.
So am I understanding this correct, Mr. Trevino? There's a USDA $40,000 grant. It's called the PPP grant. That PPP grant is going to be for planning. In other words, this is what we have, this is what we want to do, and this is how we present the problems.
Yes, ma'am. What that grant will do, will identify your problem areas, more likely your list, prioritize your problem areas. How many people will also identify the existing drainage line, 12 inches. What we have to do, we have a guide. That's very hard to get grants. It's very hard to get grants like in the state. For example, the Texas Department of Emergency Management that a lot of cities applying. If you don't have a mitigation plan, you're not going to get no money. Everybody's applying, you're not going to get no money. Now there's other grants, but if you don't have a lot of insurance claims in your area, you're not going to, there's a lot of issues. But the most important step to start now is let's have an assessment, identify your problems in your city. Now we have a chance. We already did a homework. 20, 40,000, you get 30, you put 10. Now we have a tool so we can go to money that rhythm. But
like a master plan. In other words, that's what it is, a master plan.
It's a pre-plan, or it's a pre-planning grant. It's not really a master plan. It's just an assessment. Because when you do a master plan, it's very, very detailed, and it can cost a lot of.
But I mean, meanwhile, discussing as far as how to get money from this and that, how are we going to get money to fix the streets? I mean, it's a concern. I'm really concerned because I know we have calls of vehicles. I mean, and we're covering. Even our city hall has a big. We can't fix it inside the city hall going in. I mean, there's those damages. What happens after that, Isauro? I mean, I know what you're talking about, but I mean, what I'm trying to say is, if we need to get into debt right now, we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to look way in. I don't know if FEMA's gonna help the cities, Raymond. I don't know who else is gonna help because I'm really concerned about the roads right now.
If I may, Mayor, what a lot of people like is matches. I don't care if it's 10%, 20%. The good thing is, in your rural community, you get a very low interest rate with USDA. You can go with a community facility, which will assist your city hall and streets. Now, what I'm thinking and I'm hoping is, once we do this drainage assessment plan, there's also another fund called the USDA RUS, Rural Utility Service. Those, you go for a drainage grant, sometimes you can get 80-20. So just imagine if you have to do $2 million and you only have to come up with 200,000 and you can pay those 200,000 in 20 years, you take care of your problems. So there's two different funds. You can go with USDA, the community facilities loan, and you'll get a little grant, or the USDA RUS, which is Rural Utility Service. That one you'll probably get easy, probably 75 or 80%, because you are very, very.
Well, real quick, Isauro, Raymond, just to give you a little assessment of what I saw here, I was out there during the storm. Most of our major problems, not from city drainage, most of our major problems are coming from TxDOT drainage. How can we address it with TxDOT so they can start fixing TxDOT, so they can start moving that water, because most of the water is going to TxDOT, crosses the expressway 3, and that's where everything's stuck, because they don't have a way to get out. Water doesn't have a way to get out, but TxDOT is there. I mean, can we use TxDOT somehow and address it with them?
Well, now that you address your concern and I understand a little bit more, I think you can instruct Raymond and I, who's available, or another committee, we'll have a forum to set up a meeting with the state and let them know what your problem is and see how much they can help.
Yes.
Probably help us with a match.
Okay.
But then
The other thing too is that
go ahead, Raymond.
Go ahead. Well, no, go ahead, Sal. Go ahead, finish.
I'm just saying, if we can address it the thing is, on the state, they always have year 1, year 2, year 3, regardless. They might have discretionary funds that may help you out. I don't know that. So a meeting with the state will be a good start.
The other thing there is that everything was documented. Vero has videos, pictures. So when, God willing, when FEMA does come in, we will be able to identify some of those problem areas. I mean, and the mitigation is a big part of it. To hopefully, first of all, 17 inches of rain, it's hard to take on. but at the same time, that if there is mitigation funding, that we'd be able to use that to identify some of the problem areas. Now, like Isao was saying, we can reach out to TxDOT, we can talk to them a little bit about the situation. And on top of that, the other issue that we noticed was occurring there was the water coming from the north south, the precinct area, the county area. So that's another issue that we need to address.
That's another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. I know most of her water was coming north of county area. Can we write a letter to the county addressing this issue somehow, or something? How what we can do to fix this issue, because we're getting overflowed with water from north. I mean, they need to start draining somewhere else, not into our city. I mean, I know it's a natural flow of drain, or help us improve that drain. The way water's moving.
Mayor, if Mayor and Commission, if I can, if your discussion now is a possibility of any kind of legal any kind of legal disagreements that you might have with either the county or precincts, this might be something you want to take up in executive session and not
Okay.
put out your stance right now in front of it'd be better worked out amongst yourselves if the possibility of any kind of legal action against any other municipality or anything.
Mayor, if I may, the good thing of what I'm just seeing right now today is if we do it, that $40,000 assessment, and we know we have challenges, including the county and the state, now that becomes a regional grant. When you have more partners, we can do a more of understanding, or we can do a resolution that they support a project. That gives you a lot of more points than any grant. So that's just food for thought.
The other thing too, Mayor, is that we weren't the only city that suffered, extensive damage. This is across the board, so everybody's in the same situation right now. Like, I think the first step would be to do what Isaro's saying. If FEMA were to come in, we can identify those areas immediately if there is funding available. But in the meantime, even if we were to go get a loan, we don't have a real idea of how we're going to do it or what the plan is. If we can start the process, I'm sure we'll be able to present it at the next meeting with Isauro. I think the plan is what we're going to be doing in steps and phases. Then I think it'd be a lot easier if we do apply for funding. Look, we already have this in hand. This is what we want to do, and this is how we're going to do it. As opposed to right now, we're kind of like, well, we had issues everywhere. Yeah, but so did everybody else. At this point, let's see if we can try to identify that. Now, if FEMA does come in and they have funding available, believe me, let's apply and see where we can get some monies. But let's continue to pursue this other option, to have it in hand and be able to move forward.
And I totally agree, but where I'm not but not necessarily not agreeing, but what I'm trying to say is on the drainage issue, that's something that's going to be a little long term before it fixed. I know my street repairs, that's where I'm concerned, because those need to be taken care of ASAP.
But street improvements, you mean paving or
No, I'm talking about paving, because a lot of places the water went underneath the street because there was too much current, picked up the pavement. The asphalt was taken somewhere else. Potholes, I know. First Street, if you go through there, First Street, I mean, that's from end to end, from Faro to we're building the library on First Street from end to end. I know Mr. Peña's familiar with that area because he lives through there, and he can correct me if I'm wrong. That street is messed up from end to end, and it's very dangerous because I mean, I'm talking about huge potholes. There was a lot of current going on there. I mean, everything picked up, all the asphalt, so it's horrible right now.
Mayor,
What are we gonna do about all that?
Mayor, with your permission, I'll meet with Damon and Vero tomorrow to do you an action plan for my behalf, with their feedback, on reference to funding. There are options for funding. It'll probably take us between 4 to 5 months, but I've done it before for other communities. So let me talk to staff, make sure we're on the same page, and then we'll contact you, so you can give us the blessings. Probably we can go to the next and ask for a resolution or permission to move forward. But let us first cross our T's and dot our I's from a staff point of view, and then we can reach out to you and let know what we're thinking. But I already know what you're trying to say. You want funding as soon as possible, and I know something very, very low interest that might help you out.
Yes, that's where I want to get. Since we're gonna be messing with the street already, I have several ideas as far as drainage that I've been thinking about. I know we flood in First Street down to Express 43. We've been looking for ways out to get the water out from there, but especially 3. But if we could be a little more proactive and try to get drainage on 1, 2, 3, and 4 somehow, and push that water to Faro, create a lot less water going in this way, and then look for a way out. Well, we'll discuss that later on. But for now, anything we could do, Isauro, Raymond, to get any funds out there, I am urging all of us pushing. And if you guys know anyone we could talk to, let's make it happen. Because we got hit not only with COVID, but this Hurricane Hannah, we've been getting hit pretty hard, and started stepping it up a little more.
Well, if we can get our ducks in a row this week, probably I'll ask Better to hold a special meeting next. It would just be a couple items where we'll need your blessings. It'll be very detailed on your packets, so exactly know what we're trying to do for you guys. Okay.
And I mean, let's not be afraid, Raymond, to go out to look for a loan or something. I mean, if we need to, if we get reimbursed somehow, we'll get reimbursed. If not, but let's get out there and hustle. I mean, let's do it.
Thank you.
Also,
Thank
just
you.
for the record, Chief, you want to just let them know how you've adjusted your the prisoners, what we're doing for the PD, the RVs outside, just so let everybody, the council know for the record what we've been accommodating.
Yeah, so currently right now we are working out of the RV that was lent to us by the Hidalgo County Emergency Management. Officers are still out on the road. We're still going with our daily routines. Nothing's changed with that. I did speak to Palmview Police Department, and they're allowing to house our prisoners there for the meantime. If we do come across any, and that hasn't been an issue for us at this time. Everything's business as usual. It's just a little different, a little tidier, but the guys are out there still going about it and staying strong. We are planning on. I spoke with the office manager for the county that is lending us the building over off the expressway by the Head Start. So we'll be moving into the offices on the south side of the building there. Hopefully by Thursday.
Chief, that'll be Wednesday.
What was that, Mayor?
Or is that gonna be on Wednesday? I believe Wednesday, right?
We're looking to move in there by Thursday. The building should be ready for us to go by Thursday.
Okay, perfect.
And just another on Hurricane Hannah. On behalf of the commission, I'm pretty sure I speak for Commissioner Adriana and Commissioner Julian Peña, and I'm pretty sure I speak on behalf of the mayor. I want to thank everybody that was out there that night. Mayor, I know you were out there with the backhoe. Vero, our interim city manager, I know you were out there evacuating people. Raymond was on call. I know we had Mr. De Luna, on the phone, if we needed anything. Chief, thank you so much, because I know that you were physically in the water and some of the areas, your police officers, the fire department. I really wanna thank everybody that was out there that night. I know everybody was running in different directions. Some of us were out taking family members from flooded areas also. But thank you very much on behalf of the commission. Like I said to each and every one of you, I myself as not just a commissioner, but as a citizen here of Sullivan City, I saw the movement, and I just want everybody to know that I really, really appreciate everything, and I just want to say thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Peña, do you have anything to say?
Hey, Raymond and Isauro, can we do something about Gardenia drainage? People have been complaining there for years.
What was that, Commissioner?
Can we do something about Gardenia Street, the drainage?
Hey, I can't hear, and they're talking about something.
Yeah, that's what we're going to try to address this week and see how we can get funding for that. The most important thing that I want to address with the staff is finding the problem areas. So when we go for funding, at least we can identify areas that need to get fixed or improved.
And what we'll do is if any of those people have any pictures, videos, anything like that, so we can use, that'd be ideal. They could start sending them to Vero. Get them, and we can have documentation for that.
Just to give you, Raymond, and Isauro, a little idea, that's where I came earlier on the county side. That's Actually, all the water's headed to Gardenia. Lately, no, they've always complained about that problem, but most of the water coming to Gardenia is coming out from the north, from Cali side. So that's something we need to address with the county leaders, especially Precinct 3. They've been at it for years and nothing has ever been done.
Well, I guess once Isauro, Raymond, and Berga together, they can do an assessment of everything and then basically assess everything and then take it from there. See what our next step is. I'm assuming that's what we need to do.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm gonna move on to the next item now. I guess anyone else has anything else to say? No. Okay. Moving on to item 6, business city projects updates.
Yes, Mayor, we mentioned, well, I have my list here, we already approved the COPS grant. We already approved the COVID grant. A couple months, last month or 2 months ago, we had gotten the CJ grant for $45,000, no match. That's gonna give you 5 laptops on your police vehicle and 10 tasers. As you all know, the library grant, we're moving forward with that. We'll be getting that bid opening sometime soon. In today's meeting, we have 2 issues that the mayor has arrived. It is drainage and street improvements, grant, loan, see how we're gonna address that. That's a top priority for you guys and for a lot of communities, but I'll make sure I contact Raymond and Beto tomorrow. Hopefully we'll address that as soon as possible. And if necessary, we have a special meeting to move forward next week on your wishes on it. We'll make sure we do that for you all. I clearly understand where you stand today, like many communities, and you guys are passionate about your community, so and try to bring it to fruition, the sooner the better. That's my report for today.
Real quick, Raymond, with the generator.
It's already on order, Mayor, but it's a 3 to 4 month turnaround.
Okay. I know it also pertains on grants. It's out of the lights and the street lighting. Where are we with that too?
Yes, we've had a big hiccup on that. I met with NEP 2 months ago. I met with USDA last month. Problem is, USDA, we were granted 60 LED lights for that area. The problem is, USDA only gives a grant to the city, so it has to be city property. Obviously, the lights is not city property; they belong to AEP, and we pay for the maintenance. I spoke 2 weeks ago with Roel, but he was out of town. We're supposed to come up this Friday for lunch meeting. Hopefully, we can get it addressed at the state level. Once we get clearance at the state level, AEP is ready to start. I already have the contract and everything. Right now, we have a problem. And I make myself clear? The USDA RDBG says that you got a $32,000 grant for 60 LED lights, but it's for city property. The LED lights is not city property, it's AEP property. But Senate bill, I forgot what Senate bill 2 or something that was referenced by AEP. They no longer, you cannot buy the lights and they're going to maintain only their property. They're going to have a lawsuit. It's just a verbiage issue. Hopefully by next week I'll be addressed. Sounds like we're ready to move back.
Okay. Any other questions from listeners?
No.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, I guess we don't have any other questions. Mr. Peña, questions?
Thank you, Mr. Trevino.
My pleasure.
Okay. Now moving on to item 7, public comment. Do you have any comments at all?
We did give an opportunity for the public to email comments. At this moment, nothing was received for us, so I don't have any public comments.
Okay. Perfect. Can I say a couple of words in public comments, even though I didn't sign up, Marco?
Yes, Your Honor. I mean, yes, ma'am.
Can I say any public comments? I didn't sign up for them, but can I hear?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can, ma'am.
I just a lot of people have been asking Mr. Dinas. I don't have anything to say. All I want to say is that I want to thank him for all he did for the city. He's been a great asset. He's no longer with us, and as a friend and as someone that's been here for the city with us in this journey, he's no longer here, but he's always going to be remembered. And I just want to thank him for everything he did for the city. That's I mean all I want to say. Personally, he was a great friend to me, and I just want to thank him everything he did city, and I want to express my condolences to the Salinas family and what they're going through right now. And God bless them.
Amen.
So that's pretty much it. Any other public comments? I guess we don't have any. So I'm gonna move on to item 8. Need a motion for adjournment.
You make a motion for adjournment?
I second that motion.
There was a motion by Commissioner Castillo, a second by Commissioner Peña. All in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. It is Tuesday, August 4th. It is 7:46 p.m. and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.